with the fact that I know that all things work together for the good of them that love God and are called according to his purpose. Do I got any witnesses in the house today that can honestly say that I'm standing here today because I stood on God's promises back when I was in my storm? I'm done. She gets her healing. She gets her healing. Jesus says, who touched me? He says, somebody touched me. This was different. They say it's a whole crowd of people around you. Everybody's touching you. He said, no, this touch is a little bit different from what I've been accustomed to feeling. So she receives her healing, and Jesus questioned who it was that had touched him. But after that, the text says that she came and told Jesus about everything that had happened. And what I like the most about this is that when Jesus tells her that thy faith has made you well, he changes her name. If you go back up to the beginning of the text, it describes her as a woman. Nobody knows her name. But after she encounters Jesus, he calls her daughter. He has taken her from being a nobody to being called a daughter of God. And I know some of you are ready to get out of here, but I believe that's a reason for all of us to shout this morning that God has took us from being a slave to sin to being a child of God. Who out there is happy this morning that the wedge between you and God has been removed, and now you have a right to stand in his presence? Come on and help me celebrate the fact that Jesus died for our sins. And he rose on the third day morning so that we can stand in God's presence as a son and daughter. Come on and give the Lord another hand praise. Try Jesus. I remember that song, Have You Tried My Jesus? What it say? He's what? He's all right. Have you tried my Jesus? Make it personal. He's all right. But I'm believing today that there's somebody here who was described in the text to where you have found yourself in a state of suffering and storm, and you've questioned and asked why you're going through what you're going through. If I could go back to what the praise team helped us with earlier, when they told us it was necessary, you ought to be thankful today that God allowed you to go through that storm, because what it did was it forced you back into his presence. It caused you to fall on your face, to fall on your knees, and surrender your life to God.